All right, Shalom. This is Hara One by Yasha'Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakar Kodash, Ma'amaf. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, and Akwati, and my children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 4. And he said unto me, Son of man, go get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak my words unto them. All right. So the Lord put the word into our heart, calling out Abba Father, because Yahweh Shai is the living word, right? The spirit of truth got to be dealing with you. And he said, well, go speak to the house of Israel. All right. Now, you got people like Vocab and people that are of this false doctrine. They'll say this word is for everybody when we know it's not. All right. He said, get thee to the house of Israel. So do we know who every Israelite is? No. We go out there in faith. And just like when you're fishing, you don't know what fish you're going to catch. You cast out the line, and the Lord gathers the fish, just like he did for Peter. All right? He cast out the net. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel, man. And you know our people, man, they hard-headed. All right? You got these camps out here like Sakari. They always try to come at the apostles, but they don't come at, you never hear them coming at any other camp. They might battle Vocab, they might here and there, you know. But they're not going at ISUPK, they're not going at IUIC. And that's true, man. So are they truly defenders of the gospel? You know? That's just it, man. You know, let me get this precept. It says, for thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel. See, right? We're not sent to the Chinese, the Japanese, and all these nations. We're sent to our people, wherever we're scattered. You know, you go over to France, you got Israelites that speak French. You know, so those Jakes gonna speak to those Jakes over there. Over here in America, they speak English or whatever, you know, or Spanish. You know what I'm saying? But it says what? But the house of Israel, but it says not too many people of a strange speech and of a hard language, whose words thou canst not understand. Surely had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee. The Lord would have sent us to these nations and be like, hey, Esau, you about to rule. They were like, what? You're a child of God. You know, we went to the Chinese and said, hey, man, y'all ruling next. They were like, yay. But our people, they're like, man, get out of here. We don't want to hear that. Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Shut your ass up. They don't want to hear it, man. Try to warn them, man. Stop wearing hats while you're teaching. They don't want to listen. Stop shaving your head bald. And that's in every camp. They don't want to listen. You know? Now you got this guy over at ISUPK telling people to do drugs and go commit adultery in the act of vengeance. I'm going to do a lesson on that too, Yahweh Ratazah, which would cause people to what? To err and go off. Easily, man. He said if he was under my tutelage, then I would have told Chris Rock to go do these things. You know, so I'm going to do a lesson on that too, but we're supposed to contend against that type of stuff. There's so much to contend against. You might miss certain topics, but you know, the focus is what? The false doctrine that they're spewing out, bringing in what? Damnable heresies. All right. So it says here, not to many people of a strange speech and of a hard language, whose words thou cannot understand. Surely had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee, man. All right. So the Lord said, you know, he established us as soldiers. He's establishing us as soldiers, hardening our spirit against them, against these nations, against this world. All right. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Because the Lord set us forth as ministers and as spiritual soldiers that's fighting the good fight of faith. Right, hold on. All right. So that's what this place does. It hardens us up in our spirit against this place, just like it purifies and strengthens gold with fire, all right, in adversity. Second Timothy 2:3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua, man. No man that warreth. See, we at war. This is a war right now. We fighting spiritual battle, man. All right, good against evil. You gotta know what side you on, and you gotta show what side you on. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. All right, so you think you're a soldier if you want to. All right, so that's why everything is in order and in line, and you know. So yeah, we're soldiers. So the Lord said, what? Endure hardness as a good soldier, man. Fighting a good fight of faith, basically, man. Showing what side you on. All right. Now it says here, but the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. See, they won't listen to Yahushua. So what makes you think they're going to listen to the men of the Lord? Thus, it makes the separation, so it can be manifest who are the sons of the wicked. All right, even 2/3 of our people have become fallen under the authority of the devil. All right, pushing these false doctrines out here, saying that all people can be saved. Now you got ISUPK talking about you can do it in the butt and do drugs and go kill somebody or go pop somebody's wife in the act of vengeance. And these other camps ain't saying nothing. That's how you know they're all in the same spirit, man. That unity camp bullshit. They're united under the same spirit of, what's the word, man? Right. I think the spirit of delusion. You know. So it says, but the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me, for all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted, man. So they're impudent. Look at that word, impudent. Real quick. Where was that? All right, so it says what? Impudent. And it says here, severe. All right, sharp. Firm. Hard, man. So they have hardened their heart towards the Lord. You know? That's why the Lord said what? Harden not your heart, as in the provocation, as in the wilderness, man. Those same ones are back here today as we were in the wilderness, and their descendants. And they're what? They're hardening. The Lord has hardened their hearts again to make that separation. All right? Pushing some to the left, and the right, the ones that he chose from the beginning, he pushing them to the right, on the righteous side. And he's judging it through the doctrine, okay, and your actions. But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted, man. That's why he said he sends you forth from amongst scorpions, man. Our people are hurtful. All they know how to do is attack you, you know, and they become what? Scoffers, man, and scorners. Like Lawatazai, side nigga, called side nether. All right, the scorner. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their face, man. So the direction that we're going, that's called repentance. So if you got a whole crowd of people behind you and you walking forward down the wrong path, and then you turn around, the Lord calls you back, you got to face that whole crowd now and go through them to get back to the destination, you know. So the Lord has set our faces hard against their faces by causing us to repent and turn back to him. And they're going towards darkness, and we're going towards the light. and thy forehead against their forehead. What's that? Contending, like boxers, man. You know, their forehead meaning our thoughts against their thoughts, our wisdom against their wisdom, the truth against lies. All right, us. Jake is so stuck in their ways. Now we're stuck in our ways, and that's a beautiful thing. All right. So the Lord said, "What? As an adamant, harder than flint, have I made thy forehead, man. Right? Unmovable, man, unshakable. You know, just like a boxer. Sound like Muhammad Ali right there, right? Oh, that's right. Hold up. That's right, man. Cause he set us against him. All right. So this is Luke 21:15. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom. See, the Lord gave the hopeful elect that's standing with Yahushua. He gave them a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist, man. All right. So this is our sword that we fight our battle with. Scriptures tell us put on the whole armor of the Lord. And ye shall be hated, so like it, and ye shall be betrayed of both parents and brethren and kinsfolk and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death, man. You know, that's how much they truly against us. And today, how do they cause others to be put to death spiritually? You know, they put their lights out. They teach them the truth. The next thing you know, they go to a camp like IUIC and they get put back to sleep. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. All right, but there shall not an hair of your head perish, and your patience possess your souls. All right, so that's what we're supposed to do. And patience possess our soul. All right, so I'm gonna get back to Ezekiel real quick. So we're supposed to earnestly contend for the faith, man. All right, the Lord set us up as contenders. Jacob against Esau, good against evil, you know. Israel against all the other nations. Then within Israel, he set light against darkness. And that light is against the whole world, because the whole world is in darkness. All right. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and their forehead strong against their foreheads. This is Ezekiel 3:8. As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead, man. For there fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. Moreover, he's right, because you got a lot of people that try to act tough, or even like Sakari and them, they got the whole gangster mantra and the guns on their hip, invest and shit. You look at ISUPK, they look at like they just got out of prison, everybody all fat and look like Michelin men. You know what I mean? And they use that to intimidate. They wear all black glasses, black boots. Well, it used to be made just like any gang, man. You know, these gangs, just like the JBM, the Junior Black Mafia in Philadelphia in 1981. When they first started, it was set up to go against the crack epidemic. But instead, they started selling crack to the people in their neighborhood. They were set up to protect the neighborhood. All right, so just like ISUPK and them, they set up to look all intimidating against Esau, and next thing you know, they use it towards our people. That's it. Look how they ran up on the brother in GMS and ran up on this is our corner. This is Johanna's corner. It's like, damn, bro, I thought y'all was set up to go against these devils, man. They become a cancer to their own people and teaching false doctrine. So they're not contending for the faith. They see something wrong and they don't say anything. They're like Muslims. Muslims don't want to debate or argue, you know what I mean, over doctrine. As an Adam, so As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house, man. Excuse me. All right, throw it up, man. They rebellious. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I shall speak unto thee, receive in thy heart. So we're supposed to study for ourselves first, right? Study to show yourself approved, a workman that shall not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Because that's where the battle is at. All right? And hear with thine ears, right? And we hear it from who? The apostles and the Akim. And go get thee to them of the captivity unto the children of thy people, and speak unto them and tell them, Thus saith Yahweh, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. All right? So that's a battle right there. That's a wrestling. Get another precept. All right, so now that's what we set up to do. Let's get this one real quick. It says here, Jude chapter 1 and 3. Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that ye should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints, man. So that's what it's about. You know, Jude 1 and 3, we're supposed to be contenders for the faith, man. All right, contenders. What is Jude at? Okay, Jude 3. Let me get the word contend real quick. The word contenders, man. It says here, I want to contend. It's epagonizomai, sheesh. The struggle, to struggle for, to contend, man. So we're supposed to struggle. It's like struggling or wrestling. All right. All right. And why do we have to contend? Because of this. For there are certain men crept in unawares, man. You know, they creep in, they bring in false doctrine. You know, like saying that the Lord gonna project His face all over the clouds. You know, anybody speak on that yet? No, you got, you know. Get that out of here too. That's a damnable heresy. The Lord said, when every eye shall see him, He's talking about the chariot showing up. All right, you know, straight like that. So we're gonna contend. We gotta fully contend, not be respect the persons. All right, for there are certain men crept in unawares, man. All right, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation. See, they were the same ones ordained to be set up to be condemned today. So their doctrine, you're going to know them by their fruits. The Lord set everything up. Just like He let you know the good and the bad animals. What He let you know to look for in the fish in the sea? He'll tell you to what? Look for the scales. If it don't have scales, then don't eat it. All right, He tell you what? Judge a tree by its fruits. You know, you got to know a poison tree from a good tree, a rotten tree from a good one. All right. So He gave us signs with everything. And with the wicked, even 2/3 of our people, He's giving signs to recognize them. All right. He said He chose through the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. And He put this worldly wisdom into the hearts of 2/3 in these heathens. All right. So for there are certain men crept in unawares, man. Like Zachariah and them, certain calling himself guerrilla Hebrew. There's nowhere in the scriptures, man. That's an ego he made up. All right, probably got it branded and shit. What's the name? General Yohana. You know, the beloved bishop. Now look at the apostles. They call themselves the apostles, man. It's very simple. The word apostle just means sent out. And that's a high calling to be sent out. But a humble statement. All right. Now it says what? So they were before of old ordained to this condemnation. All right, ungodly men. That's what they are. You know, they're ungodly. They're not operating godly, spiritual. Getting that precept. Um, that's right, man. So that we earnestly contend for the faith, man. All right. Now it says here. What was that? All right. This is Sirach 42 and 24. All things are double, one against another, man. Just like a boxing match or martial arts. And he have made nothing imperfect, man. Just like light and darkness. One thing establisheth the good or another. And who shall be filled with beholding his glory, man? All right, so you got to be filled with his spirit to be able to behold his glory. Put it like that, man. All right. So, yeah, he set everything up in twos, one against another. All right. All right. So he said one against another. Okay, that's contention. Sirach 33 and 13. As the clay is in the potter's hand, to fashion it as at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him, to render to them as liketh him best, man. So the Lord set them up to be wicked like that. That goes in Romans 11. All right, let the table be made a snare, so it'd be a trap the damn wicked of our nation, man. So the Lord can filter out or sift out the wicked that have always been against them. So we sit down here to put marks upon people. So look, I always say, mark them that cause division contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned. So look upon all the, so like good is set against evil. See that? The Lord set it up like that. All right, in this theater. Good is set against evil. I'm gonna say that again. Good is set against evil, man. So we supposed to be what? Set and preparing to go to war against the wicked. And our battle is our weapons of warfare are not carnal, but spiritual. Okay. Good is set against evil, and life against death, man. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another. All right, it's just that clear, man. All right, 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. So this is our verse 3. For though we walk in the flesh, so we in this flesh, we do not war after the flesh. See, we come down here as spiritual beings in the flesh, just like our King Yahushua did, to fight this spiritual battle against the wicked of our people and the wicked of the world, these nations. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds, man. So greater is he that is within me than he that is in the world, man. All right, so we're destroying and marking them for judgment. All right. And it says what? Casting down imaginations, right? Because these heathens set up imaginations and idols in the minds of our people, and they still stuck on that false doctrine, all right, or that rebellious spirit. And then they come out of that, and they return back to their vomit by having strippers at the damn Passover or something, or not speaking against the lies that are out here, you know. They go on their page, they're just talking shit. You know, they might mention certain people, but they ain't really focusing on that. You don't ever see Sakari going straight at IUIC. You don't ever see them like fully going at ISUPK. Instead, they'll honor them. You know, it's part of that whole unity camp shit. You'll never see GOC going at IUIC, GOCC or whatever. And then they'll say that's not what we're supposed to do. No, they worrying about their establishment. It's about the Lord's work, man. We're sitting here to fight spiritually, man. All right. So we're sitting here to what? To cast down. When you cast something down, I mean you knocked it down in the spirit of the Lord. The Lord sent us here for that. All right, to cast them down, cast down the imaginations, and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, so that anybody can get it. Ain't got no picks. That's how the Lord is. He like, I don't care who it is, man. He's no respecter of person, and we shouldn't be either. All right, in the truth or out of the truth, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahweh Shai, and having a readiness. So we got to study to show ourselves approved and be ready, stay sharp, because the Lord said He has made their minds sharp, in their stubbornness, and their false doctrine. That's why you run into somebody like Vocab, you know, even though he's not our people, but he's sharp in his worldly wisdom, worldly, not spiritual. All right, and who else? You know, 2/3 Jakes, man, ever learning, but never able to come into the knowledge of the truth. They know a lot of shit. You know, they'll chew you, they'll bite your ear off about all the stuff they know. And it says, and having a readiness to revenge. So we're getting a revenge for Yahweh Shai. All disobedience. So all the ones that are disobedient and set up to be disobedient, we're set up to testify and to usher in the Lord's judgment. All right. You know, the prosecutor, defender, give a testimony. This is the court before the judge. So it's right, man. And having a readiness to avenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. So we get the mote out of our own eye first, and then we're able to help others. You know, help our brothers. That's right, man. So we're set up to fight this good fight of faith. And the Lord said, contend for the faith, man. And we're set up to pull down strongholds. All right. Look at this. Snap. Where was that? All right. 1 Timothy 6:12. It says here, fight the good fight of faith, man. So we're supposed to be fighting right now. You know? What's that word, fight? Let me get that. 1 Timothy 6:12. So it's a battle going on. Join into the battle. 1 Timothy's, I think it's 6:12. All right. So he said, fight the good fight of faith, man. And he said, cursed is any man that hold back his sword from blood. And mind you, it's spiritual. It says to fight, to struggle, to compete for a prize, to contend with an adversary. Then the Lord said there are many antichrists, man, anti-anointed, or basically adversaries to the anointed, to the truth. To contend with an adversary, man. So that's what we're set up here to do. To fight the spiritual battle for the Lord and His vengeance, you know, revenge. All right. To enter a contest, contend in the gymnasium games. To contend with adversaries, fight. To contend, struggle with difficulties and dangers, man. All right. To endeavor with strenuous zeal, strive to obtain something, man. All right. So we're supposed to be fighting for it, pushing towards the kingdom. All right. So you see something wrong out there, we're supposed to rebuke it. He said, what? Let me get that. That's the spirit. right, man. There you go. This is 2 Timothy 4:2. No, 1. I charge thee therefore before Yahweh and Yahweh Shai Mashiach, the anointed, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing in his kingdom. All right, so quick and the dead represents the righteous and the wicked. All right. Preach the word. So our job is to what? Preach the word, man. Be instant in season and out of season. So that means all year round, man. Teach the word. Reprove, rebuke. All right, so we sent to reprove, to blame, and to rebuke for those blames, you know. And to rebuke, exhort with all long suffering. Let's get that. 2 Timothy 4:2. 2 Timothy 4:2. All right, so reprove. We're set up to reprove. So this has to be in your teaching. You got to reprove and rebuke. It says to reprove means to confute, admonish, right? We're supposed to admonish our people. To convict, like officers, man. You know, give them a conviction. Refute, confute, generally with a suggestion of shame of the person convicted. All right, to cast this shame on those people so when they get judged, they'll know. Rebuke. All right, so, and why are we supposed to do that? It says tax upon, to censor or admonish, to forbid, to show honor to honor. Now, to adjudge, to admonish or charge sharply, man. Like, you know, we're warning them. All right, so I'm gonna get this real quick. It says, Titus 1:13. This witness is true. Wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith. So that's why we'll rebuke somebody sharply. All right, you got false rebuke too. People that just want to attack people, and they ain't not correct in their rebuke. You know what I mean? The Lord he's a righteous judge for that. You know, he'll deal with everybody. But it says what? Contend for the faith, man. And it says right here, this witness is true, wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith, man. That's the goal, to get people to correct the error of their ways and say, you know what, I was tripping. This doesn't mean that, it means this. You know what I mean? And they change their ways, right? But they're not doing that. You know, you go to these debates, and they just debating each other, and nobody's coming out delivered spiritually. You know, all these can't be in agreement. Scriptures say, how can two walk together unless they set to be agreed? See, they're agreed in their rebellion. IUIC, ISUPK, Sakari, GOCC, all these other camps. They're in cahoots because of their rebellion, man. ITR, you know, all of them, man. All right, that's why they won't come at each other. Because if they did, they wouldn't be able to stand together because their doctrine is so different from each other, and they're not battling each other. All right, we're supposed to be battling spiritually. Okay, so let me get back to this. All right, so he says what? 2 Timothy 4 and 4:2. Preach the word, be instant in season and out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort. All right, that word exhort. That's why he said this is an exhortation. Meaning what? To call near, to invoke. Meaning like I encourage you to do great, to do better. All right. It says to exhort with all long suffering, man, with patience. Okay. That's just it, man. You know, and doctrine. So, so that's just it. That's right. So that's what it's about too. The doctrine, man. You gotta watch these people that bring in damnable heresies, instructions. Okay, teachings. That's what the doctrine is. And Yahushua gave us those instructions and doctrines. We're supposed to protect it. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables, man. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. Not just teaching the prophecies, but you got to also rebuke and reprove. All right, so you got to make full proof of thy ministry. All right, so he told us to do the work of an evangelist. It says a preacher of the gospel, a bringer of good news, an evangelist. That's why the Lord said, fight the good fight of faith, and setting us on the side of what? The good. He said, what? Good is set against evil. And he also said this. Where is it at? He said, fight the good fight of faith, man. Philippians 1:17. But the other of love, so like Philippians 1:16, 15. Some indeed preach Yahushua even of envy and of strife, some also of goodwill. You got some vengeful ass people out here that want to get a name for themselves, so they'll attack, like calling apostles rapists and all that. All right, or people spew lies out there on the social media sites because they mad and shit. The one preach Yahushua of contention and not sincerely, man, supposing to add afflictions to my bonds, man. That's what they want to do. They want to hurt you like scorpions. All right, they're not trying to get you to change. They want to hurt you. You know, your feelings and shit. So they'll say shit like, you're a rapist. You know, that's not contender for the faith. But the other of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel. You know, so we're teaching, we're not in that same spirit. We're attacking somebody is because we're set at the defense of the gospel. And this is love, you know. And you gotta watch some people like, this is love that I'm showing you. Nah, you just hating. You talking shit. You know what I'm saying? You got some people that's doing it sincerely, you know, and they'll even be your brother afterwards. Not somebody that talks shit and then that's it. They stay away from you and shit. And you ask them what the fucking problem was. They say, I don't know. You're like, what the fuck? So why'd you do all this then? Why'd you rebuke me out in front of everybody? I don't know, man. Well, are you gonna apologize in front of everybody? I don't know, man. Should be nonsense, man. So when you do it, if you contending against somebody, let it be sincerely, and not just for contention, just because you being a nigga and you want to talk some shit and ain't no doctrine in your lesson. You go to the video and you're just talking shit. You know, what then? Notwithstanding, every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Yahushua has preached, and I therein do rejoice. Yea, I will rejoice. So either way, we're not supposed to be mad. We'll see these camps, and we're supposed to rebuke them, but at the same time, you know, they're like entry-level Israelites. It's a beautiful thing to know that IUIC is telling people that they're Israelites. That's all we care about. You know what I mean? But we want them to know the truth so they can be delivered. We want the elect to wake up, and the elect will wake up, you know? So our job is to play our part, and their job is to play their part, all right? The darkness is supposed to be the darkness, and the light is supposed to be the light, and it's our job to shine it, and ultimately, light will devour darkness, all right? I don't care if it's a small light or whatever. You know, light will always conquer darkness. So that's what we're set up for. The scriptures say what? That ye earnestly contend for the faith. Okay, and that's what we set up to do. defend the gospel.